Hello there, people of the internet. I feel like this video is probably going to ruffle a couple of feathers because we have some very strong opinions down there in the comment section. So I'm expecting to sit back and kind of relax with some popcorn on this one. Me and an acquaintance, I wouldn't call him a buddy because I barely know the guy, but me and an acquaintance of mine were talking about the AK47 and how whenever it had come out during the time period it had come out in, it was absolutely revolutionary and an incredible design. However, by today's standards, the AK-47 is definitely becoming an antiquated platform. I don't want to call it obsolete because it's definitely not as obsolete as some other platforms out there that are still very much in use today. But I will go ahead and I will call it antiquated. Now, whenever I'm talking about the AK-47, I'm talking about the original style of AK. Not like the original style, but like the AKM platform that stayed true to the original design back whenever it had, first started coming out. I guess I could go into some history behind the AK rifle. The AK rifle was originally intended to be stamped sheet metal. Russians kind of had a difficult time making that happen, so they kind of brought it out to a milled receiver for a little while. Then they figured out the stamping, so they went back to a stamped receiver. But the original design aspect of the AK really did not change much during that transitional period. But whenever the AK had originally began to become a concept, it was pretty much right after World War II with the inspiration from the German Sturmgewehr and inspiration from the M1 Garand, Grand, however it is you will feel like pronouncing that. Thank you, Kevin! Kevin's being noisy today, by the way. He's my peacock. I got 4 of them. They're all named Kevin. Make sure that you say hello to Kevin in the comment section below, I guess. But after World War II, it was very much becoming well known that intermediate caliber cartridges were going to be the way of the future, and the Russians liked what the Germans did with the Sturmgewehr, however it is you feel like pronouncing that. No matter how I pronounce it, I'm always told that I'm wrong. It's almost like I don't speak German, but with the technology of the time, the AK platform, although the Russians didn't quite get the stamping quite right, whenever they had attempted to make the AK platform, it was definitely a revolutionary design. It was supposed to be incredibly simple and cheap. There's only like 8 moving parts, I believe, in the AK platform. And it is chambered in the 7.62x39, which is an intermediate caliber cartridge designed to be effective out to like 400 yards by the average conscripted soldier. Of course, there's people out there who can run this at significantly further distances than just the 400 yards. But most of your combat was taking place at the time at 400 yards, or in like 99.999% of what you were doing was going to be taking place within that 400 yards. So the 7.62x39 was absolutely adequate for that time period. However, there's a couple of downsides with the AK platform. You can't really mount optics on this thing. You can, but you need this secondary accessory rail that you would have on the side of the platform. And by today's standards, with modern technology and including, modern AK designs, having some sort of rail system built directly onto the rifle to where you don't need like a secondary attachment in order to mount optics is absolutely, one of the more predominant features of your practical rifles by modern standards. Another big downside for the AK platform, not just with the old school AK platform, but even by the modern AK platform standards, is that swapping out calibers for your rifle is very, very difficult to do. I mean, I guess it is possible, but you need basically an entire armory machine shop in order to pull that off. Whereas another rifle that is perhaps a bit more modular, I'm going to use this as the most stereotypical example out there, the AR platform. The AR platform, a simple barrel swap will get you all different sorts of calibers, or a simple swap of the upper receiver will get you all sorts of different calibers, and you can run just a tremendous variety of calibers with a very simple, 2-pin upper receiver off, old receiver off, new receiver on. Now you are rocking a completely different caliber for your rifle. You can't do that with the AK. With the AK, you're pretty much set on whatever one singular caliber the rifle is chambered in. More often than not with the AK platform, If we're talking about the original AK-47, it's going to be chambered in 7.62 by 39, and that is definitely a dated cartridge by today's standards. There are other calibers out there for the AK platform. Obviously, it is definitely one of the more popular platforms in the world because of its simplicity and ease of manufacture. But like I said, we're going to be talking about basically the original design. 7.62 by 39 is definitely a powerhouse of a round. It is a 30 caliber round. I think it's a 311 or 312 diameter projectile, but it's not traveling very fast, and it kind of drops like a rock once you get out to you know, past 400 yards or so. And because it is a slow moving round, and it's also a very large round, wind deflection is, it's quite significant on this particular round. So on a windy day, you would definitely need to take into account just how much the wind is pushing the projectile one way or the other. Typically with gravitational pull, you can determine how far your round is going to drop over a specific distance because gravity pulls in a consistent manner. However, with wind deflection, whether or not you're, you know, 500 yards away or so, you have to know how fast the wind is moving here, how fast it is moving there, and how much it is going to push that bullet one way or the other. And the 7.62 by 39 just does not have that great of ballistic capabilities. However, for the time period that it was designed at, whenever countries were still using full power rifle rounds, just having an intermediate caliber cartridge, which is lighter weight, you can get fast follow-up shots because there's less recoil, less wear on the gun. We have a larger capacity magazine than the 5-shot bolt-action rifles that Russia was using at the time, and since it's automatic, well, you don't have to worry about cycling a bolt every time you want to fire it. So revolutionary for its time, not so much nowadays, simply because we have better designs and better technology. A lot of times whenever I talk to people who want an AK for one reason or another, more often than not, they're going to want the original design of AK. This is not the original design of AK, but this is what I'm using as my example. Now, it is close enough to the original design, but they want the old-fashioned wood furniture, and they want, you know, the non-pick rail, and they want the iron sides, and they want all the things that make the AK platform the AK platform. And a lot of times whenever you offer them an updated version of the AK platform, they tend to become less interested because it's not the AK platform that they're thinking of. I just had a bug fly on me from the tree. I don't know what it was, but it was a bright red, so it is off of me now. Another thing that I dislike about the AK platform, this is kind of my own personal preference, although I do love the AK platform. Don't go thinking that this is me dissing on it. But there are some negative sides to the AK platform. One of the things I dislike about it is the safety system that is on this thing. Yes, it serves as an excellent dust cover. Man, it is just so different than the safeties that I am used to here in the United States. I'm definitely used to a good plethora of other safeties. The AK safety is definitely unique to the AK platform, and it can be a little on the difficult side to get on and off, and you just can't operate anything on the firearm whenever the safety is engaged, and that's one of the things that I don't like about the system. For the AR safety, you could still, you know, throw a round into the chamber in the event that you have to. For the AR safety, if it is engaged, you can still manipulate the rifle and not take the rifle out of safe. For the AK safety, in order to do any kind of manipulation on the rifle at all, that safety has to be off. Well, I guess you could take the mag out and put a new mag in, but other than magazine manipulation, in order to do anything on the rifle, you have to disengage the safety, and that's just not something that I like. I also don't like the rock and lock magazine of the AK rifle, as opposed to something like the simple straight push-in magazine system that is on the AR platform. The AK platform, anytime I'm dealing with somebody who is not well adversed with the AK platform, a lot of your newer shooters and whatnot, they just have some trouble with that rock and lock system, and it normally takes them a couple of tries to try and figure out how to lock the magazine in place, and then once they lock it in place, they can't figure out how to push the button or push the little lever on the back of the magazine and then rotate it forward and pull it out. It definitely takes a little bit of practice with that system right there. We do see a lot of modern designs with just a push-in system, like a push-in magazine system, to where all you have to do is press a button and you can pull the magazine in and out. It's a lot more simple of a system. I also dislike the charging handle being on the right side. Excellent for left-handed shooters, but if you're a right-handed shooter like me, you have to reach around the rifle in order to actually effectively charge the thing. It's just not, it's definitely not the most ergonomic system. For the time period whenever this rifle had come out, it was fantastic. But for this this time period that we're currently in, there are definitely better systems out there. Still love the AK though. I don't like the sights and how far away they are from my face. I know on something like the AR platform, I can get the sights on the back of the receiver, and whenever I do that, I have it right up against my face, and since I'm blind, I can just see my sights a little bit easier than I can on the AK platform. The AK platform is still rocking the old school style leaf sight that is forward of the receiver. And as a result, I simply cannot get as good of a sight picture with the AK platform than I can with the AR platform. The other thing I don't like about the AK platform is this. If you notice, I clicked and it did not go bang. It's because I'm out of ammunition. In the event on some other system, I'm going to keep using the AR platform as an example. In the event of some other system running out of ammunition, your bolt is locked back. There are magazines out there that lock the bolt back on the AK, but there's no built-in system in the AK itself that locks your bolt back whenever you're out of ammunition, thus letting you know that you are out of ammunition. The only way to know you're out of ammunition is whenever you pull that trigger and hear a click like what we just saw. And if you have yourself a magazine that holds the bolt back, once you take that magazine out, your bolt slams forward, and that kind of defeats the purpose. That defeats the purpose of having your bolt locked back, because once you put your new magazine in, you still have to reach around the firearm and then run your charging handle in order to rack a new round into the chamber. And that is just not that good of an ergonomic design. Now, since they went from the Mosin to this rifle, they did have the SKS for a little while. I'll go ahead and acknowledge that. But since they basically went from the Mosin to this rifle with the SKS not seeing much use in Russian service, there's other countries out there that got tons of service from it. This is still a dramatic improvement over what the Russians were using. Anyway, folks, appreciate your time. I wanted to come out here and run some 7.62 by 39 through this rifle because it's been a little while since I've made an AK video. So I hope that you enjoyed watching. If you like the video, description down below, link to all sorts of stuff. Go and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this stuff. And let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below. Like I said, I am sure I'm going to get lots of spicy comments down below. Besides that, I don't think I have anything else left to say. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you all in the next episode. Since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.